Hi guys, I'm back with another video of the second angel's message. And if this is your first time to watch my videos, please, I'm just requesting you subscribe to the channel, and then please just ring on the notification bell so that in each and every video that I am going to give or I bring out, you will be notified. Like and then comment, share too. Yeah, let's pray. Almighty and everlasting Father, dear Lord, I come unto thee. Please be with me, guide me, Dad, and help us all. In thy name I pray and believe. Amen. Okay, today we are going to look at Revelation 14 verses 8. The last time we saw, we spoke about the first angel's message, which was in the book of Revelation 14 verses 6-7. But now we are going to verses 8, the second angel's message, which says, then I saw the second angel hovering all around with the everlasting gospel, and he said, Babylon is fallen, Babylon the great city, which has made many nations drink from the wrath of the cup of his indignation. So here we are seeing Babylon, and this Babylon, it is great, but it has fallen. Why has it fallen? And it has done what? It has made many people or many nations drink from his cup which is full of wrath. So here at first we want to see what is Babylon. And before we have the definition of Babylon, we want to see some text. When you look at the first time we are hearing about Babylon is in the book of Genesis, chapter number 11, verses number 9. When we start reading from chapter 11 verse 1, it speaks about in the whole world, there was only one language. But they decided to unite together so that they can build a tower. And the reason why they were building this tower is, one, they can reach God. And then the second thing, the second reason why they were building this tower is that they should not be separated or distributed along around the world. So they wanted to be together. But we see that God was against this. Because they were acting on their own ways. They were thinking on their own ways. Instead of asking God, they were thinking on their own ways. And God was really full of wrath and came down and really destroyed them. What they did not want is, one, to be distributed, to be separated, to be distributed along the world. And that's what God did. God distributed them around the world. And then there were different types of language. And the other thing is that they did not reach heaven. They needed to reach heaven, but they did not reach heaven. So God destroyed that place. And that tower was called the Tower of Babel, which means confusion. God confused them. They did not understand one another. They were distributed all around the world, and they did not reach heaven. So it is found in the book of the same Genesis chapter number 11, verses 9. The second time we are hearing the word Babylon is in the book of Daniel, chapter number 1, talking about Nebuchadnezzar going to Jerusalem, attacking God's people, taking them to Babylon, and even taking the things or the utensils that were used in Jerusalem in the house of God, taking them to Babylon, to his gods, to his gods. So we see like Babylon was used this time to take people's God, to captivate people's God's people, God's children, to their country. And we see in Babylon there was no worshipping of God, the true God. They were worshipping images. They're worshipping images, the goddess, the things, the created things. They were worshipping the created things. And here we see, like, when this these Hebrew men, when these Hebrew men or guys went to Babylon, they were taught different types of what? Of philosophies. No, they were taught different types of philosophies, not according to God, but according to the goddess, according to what they were, the images, according to the images that the Babylonians were worshipping. And then we see that they were changed, their names were changed from the names that they had in Judea or in Jerusalem. They were changed to different names, which the meaning of their names were according to the images that the Babylonians were doing what? Were worshipping. And we see at this, then God destroyed Babylon at last. God destroyed Babylon at last. Why is it that God is destroying Babylon? Because Babylon is really going against God's ways. Babylon is really going against God's scriptures, against God's commands. We see this Babylon here, they're worshiping images. They're teaching his children, they're teaching the children of God to worship image, to worship image, destroying them, destroying the things of God, destroying the utensils in Jerusalem, and even burning Jerusalem up. So they were going against God, just as the first Babylon in the book of Genesis chapter 11, God destroyed them because they were going according to their own hearts. This time too, God is destroying Babylon because they were going according to their own heart. And even when you look at the book of Revelation, the same book, Daniel chapter number 3, it speaks about Nebuchadnezzar made a very big golden image, so that the children of God could worship the image, you see. So that was just this was just going against God and provoking God to anger. And so he decided, like, Babylon will never continue and is going to destroy it because it is always confused. It is always confused. Instead of going according to God's law, it is going according to its own laws. Okay, the other place that now we see about Babylon is we see in the book of Revelation chapter number 17, talking about this woman. And if we look at the book of Revelation chapter number 17, verses number 5, it says, "And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth." Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. Babylon, the mother of harlots. Here, the writer John is talking about a woman. John is talking about woman, and now he's representing this woman with Babylon, the mother of harlots. When you look in the book of Revelation chapter number 12, there is another woman. But this woman is different from this woman. If you can find time, please go through Revelation 12 and Revelation 13. You will see that there is difference between this woman or these women, these women. When you look at the same book of chapter 17 of Revelation, it says, chapter number 4, verse number 4, Revelation 17:4 says, "The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication." When we look at number 2, "With whom the kings of the earth committed fornications," verse 2, "with whom the kings of the earth committed fornications, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with wine of her fornication." You see, with wine of her fornication. So we see, like, this woman is having wine, and this wine is being drunk by the kings of the world and those people who followed this woman, and then they were doing fornications. So here we look at, no, we should find, like, what's the meaning of wine, because the same wine that is being talked about, we are seeing it in the book of Revelation 14 verse 8, which the scripture says, Babylon is fallen. Babylon the Great is fallen, because he has made many nations drink from the cup of his fornication. Out of the cup of her fornication. So, what is wine? What is wine? Wine means the false teachings. The false teachings. So it means that this woman or this religion is about false teaching. And then fornications means that many of his leaders or many church are going to come together. They're going to come together to make laws or to make philosophies according to their own traditions, or according to their human ways. And so, in Revelation chapter number 18, God is telling us, Revelation chapter 18 verse 4, God is telling us to get out of this Babylon. Get out of it, my children. He's saying, get out of it, my people. Get out of her. Get out of this Babylon. Get out of this Babylon. Get out of this religion. Get out of these philosophies. I want you to be mine. I want you to be mine, like to be mine. Follow my laws, follow my scriptures, be strong in my ways, be strong in my ways. When you look at the book of Revelation chapter 13, Revelation chapter number 13, chapter number 13 verse 8, it says, chapter number 13 verse 8, it says, all who dwell on earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. All who dwell on earth. All who dwell on earth. And so because of the wine and because of his fornication, many people are going to follow him. Many people are going to follow him. When we read in the same book of the book of Revelation 13, we're gonna see why many people are going to follow him. Many people are going to follow the Babylons. Many people are going to follow this religion. So in short, is that Babylon is a religion. Babylon is a religion, a Christian religion or a church that is teaching false doctrines. It teaches false doctrines, and these doctrines, they are being made out of traditions or their own will. They don't anymore go according to the Bible. They don't anymore go according to what God says. They don't anymore worship God with their own hearts, with their own mind, but they worship themselves. They worship the word. They bring some philosophies like homosexualist and many other like worshiping the images, worshiping the image, the golden image, and not worshiping God with all thy heart. Not worshiping the God in all the heart. So when we look at it in a very good way, we see that this Babylon is a Roman Catholic which at last is going to unite every Protestant, is going to unite the Protestant churches to come together to worship him, and to make some traditions, some philosophies, some traditions, that will guide them, And now God is telling his people, please get out of it. Please get out of her, because his teachings or its teachings is not according to my will. It's not according to the scriptures. Get out of her, my people. Get out of her. So I'm telling you, my brother, my sister, get out of her. Let's get out of her. Let's read the scriptures with all our heart, our mind. Let's get out of this Babylon. Thank you so much. And the next, we are going to look at Revelation, the third angel's message, which is found in the book of Revelation, chapter number 9. Thank you so much. Lord, I come unto thee. Thank you for this moment, Daddy. Thank you. Forgive me all that I've said against thee, O God. and let us help us get out of Babylon to read thy word with all our hearts, with all our mind, and with all our soul. In thy name I pray and believe. Amen. If it is your first day, please subscribe, comment, like, and click on the notification bell. Bye for now.